Hi, this is Høgh from Grimfrost. I'm here together with Høgh Andersen, who plays Ivar the Boneless on Vikings, of course. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to have you
good
here.
to be here, man.
It's good to have you here.
So we have a couple of questions prepared for you if you want to answer them. Yes. So first off, I mean the season here we just seen is amazing. So what can we expect from Ivar in season 5?
In season 5, you will expect because in season 4B he's very young and he's working with himself and trying to prove himself every single moment, every single fucking moment. It's almost like he's very teenager-ish, right?
Yeah.
Tends to sometimes, and that's great because then you have that side of him, and that also brings up the option of him to progress and evolve into becoming a man.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll see a bit more of in season 5, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll see him get more experienced because he's half leading the Great Heathen Army.
Yeah.
So of course he's progressing and becoming into this kind of a young man instead of a young boy. And so you will see him but you'll also see him still struggle with a lot of anger issues. He still got women issues, just like his papa.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the same story over and over
well,
again.
Well, he has something to live up to.
He got a lot, no pressure. Yeah. Same for me as well, personally.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would you say motivates Ivar? I mean. He does have to after all take on a huge challenge to try to fill the shoes of Ragnar Lothbrok. His
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, for him, because he was raised by Floki, especially because he was raised by Floki, and also his mother for that reason, he is very religious, and that's also what motivates him when he is. That's his argument when he's trying to prove himself over the other Vikings. Mm-hmm. He's always using his religion to try to win them over.
Yeah.
And he's very, very religious, and I think the main goal it's got to be proving himself to the gods.
Is that also something that will come up more in the
It will, because every single challenge that he faces, he needs to. His motivation to overcome them is, of course, to get more power, to prove himself, but eventually all of this stuff is about him really, trying to get into Valhalla.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah. We don't want to give away too much. Of course,
no. But I mean, that would be the main goal for every very religious Viking, right?
Yeah.
So that really motivates him. But in terms of that, also him struggling with the disease, of course, I think religion for him is also I think some kind of a getaway.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to be focused on something else than his disease.
Yeah, of course.
Imagine taking religion away from him, then he would just be a cripple.
So you mean it's like it's literally his bones?
It's literally his bones, and it also helps him have some kind of a goal in life. Mm-hmm. And I think when we saw him in season 4B, in the beginning of season 4B, episode 11 and 12, I think he's on the verge to maybe breaking down or becoming even more motivated to prove himself.
Yeah.
And Ragnar helps. Ragnar returning helps him choose the second one, which is proving himself.
Yeah.
Because I think he would even be kind of suicidal at the beginning of season 4B because he's having such a tough life.
Yeah, and also, as you also mentioned, the anger issues and all that.
Oh, yeah. He's still working on that, by the way.
So what has been your greatest challenges portraying Ivar? I mean, it's a very complex character.
Yeah. Well, the greatest challenge is always to wrap your head around this very conflicted guy. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's the physical element to it as well. Me on lying and crawling through dirt and shit and mud every single day is of course a physical challenge, but it's also what makes it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing better than crawling through this stuff, killing somebody while you're rolling around on the ground.
It's gonna be cold though.
It's cold, it's
yeah.
cold, but I got the greatest crew who's taking care of me.
Oh, that's
They're
cool.
very nice.
That's great.
And I like the attention, from all the chicks standing there brushing you off. But I mean, it's also what you can never do as an actor is judging your character. You always need to defend him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see in any story that there are good characters or bad characters, because all the evil characters do not think that they're evil.
Of course not.
So, and it also wouldn't, I mean, that would make it one-dimensional, which is boring. So I'm also constantly trying to, when he's having all these anger issues and he's yelling at people, he's almost on the verge to kill them, I have to pull him down as well. I need to have a scene afterwards where he is, vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because he's always so much upfront and trying to push everybody away and proving himself.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's so tough to be around. But so we also need the audience to see him when he's in his own space.
Yeah.
Where he's not an actor. And he's trying to, and he's just actually, what he really is an insecure boy.
Yeah, a human being.
Exactly,
basically.
a human being,
Yeah.
a human being.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So, which one of the scenes that you've done that already aired was your favorite so far? What
Already aired? From 4B?
I mean, there's a couple.
There's a couple, yeah. I like, for me as being still a young dude who loves battling and all that stuff, the fighting stuff. So when Ragnar and Ivar was in the woods and they decided to kill all the other Vikings,
Yeah.
and when I actually had to kill all these dudes while I was rolling around on the ground, that was so much fun. And we shot that like 11 in the evening,
Okay.
11 o'clock in the evening, and it was cold, and it was in October or something like that, and it was just so much fun. but as an actor, loving also the emotional moments, the scene where I was saying goodbye to Ragnar, I loved that one a lot. That was a very emotional one. That was really
That
was
a good
acting.
scene.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But also all the stuff in the beginning, we're trying to figure out who he really was in episode 11 and 12 was personally for me very interesting. The one where he's screaming at Sigurd because he's bullying him. I loved that one as well. That was just, and that was improvised. I mean, that was just in the moment I started. Okay, fucking hell, I'll crawl after him. I'll scream at him. So
great.
that was just because you're just so much in it and you're trying to different things out, and sometimes you do it while you're rolling.
Yeah.
Because you can't control it. It's just instinct thing. But
That
also
makes it natural as well.
Exactly. Well, at least I hope so. I don't find it natural for me to
No,
crawl on
but
the
I
ground,
mean,
but it is. Yeah, that's
you get into
you
it,
try.
yeah.
You try your best.
I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
that would be one of my favorites. Me saying goodbye to Alyssa's character, Aslak, was also the one in the stone, telling her that just one day with my father being a real man, that would be worth a lifetime of pity. That's exactly the essential of that character. That's what he's struggling with. It was
That's a good
great
line.
line by Michael Hurst. Great line by Michael Hurst. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. All right. So, so what would be the most memorable experience, memorable moment of this experience of being part of the Viking set? You know.
I mean, first day we were on set, very first day. I mean, all the brothers of Ragnar, we just cast. We'd been at a hotel room for 3 weeks in straight and just been working out, and just we were bored as fuck because we were just sitting in that hotel room waiting to get out there.
Yeah.
Right? So first day on set, we were down in Lugala, and we were on top of this mountain. And at this point, I haven't seen any of the nature of Ireland. So just the location in itself was absolutely extraordinary. And that alone, I was like, I need to have an hour to take this in, this whole moment, right? And then there's, on top of that, 200 people with cranes, 4 cameras, goats. I mean, come on. And this guy, we're sitting in the tent, the 4 brothers, and we were just about to start shooting the scene. nervous as fuck. We're
can
shitting
imagine,
bricks.
yeah.
We're shitting bricks. It wasn't beautiful. And this guy walks up to us with a dart in his mouth, and a completely chilled Irish dude, and he's like, so, guys, do you see these 200 people who's standing behind me right now? They don't have a job next year if you fuck up. And then he left. That was first day. We were just sitting there like, are you kidding me? But to this day, I'm happy that he did it because, you know, it made us realize how important it is and
Yeah.
what a responsibility we've taken upon us. And I think that's important.
And possibly made you very focused.
Definitely. Well, I mean, the bricks that we were shitting were even bigger after that. I can say that.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's a good one. So, Vikings is mainly shot in Ireland. So, here's a little kind of funny question, but which is your favorite pub in Dublin to visit?
Oh my God.
If you go out, you know?
I got one that's very good. It's kind of my local one. It's called the Ferryman.
The Ferryman?
The Ferryman, which is right next to the Samuel Beckett Bridge.
Okay.
I've you know, asked people around if it was one of the better pubs in Dublin.
Yeah.
And everybody said, oh yeah, they always mention the Ferryman.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good spot. It's
All
one
right,
of the-
good.
It's
So-
my local one, and it's one of the better ones.
So how many
that's-
Guinnesses have you had?
I can't say that. I can't say that. Not in front of a camera. I can't say that.
That's all right.
My mom shouldn't.
No,
be able
of course not.
to- Sorry, Mom.
So, just to round it off, what has surprised you to learn about Vikings that you didn't already know going into playing Ivar, if anything? Maybe you know everything. I don't know.
I didn't actually know that much about Vikings. Of course, I'm from Denmark, so I read the stories when it was part of our upbringing. But what has surprised me the most about them, it's gotta be how awesome they were and how far away they are from the stereotype. You think you have this stereotype of them as being these mental dudes with literally got horns in the helmets, which is not true, by the way, and you know, bloody and weird and crazy, and they had those elements, but they're also a very intelligent people who is very spiritual, and understanding what's going through their mind in terms of this whole thing of religion, and them not being afraid of dying because it would bring them to a better place.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy, because I especially in this contemporary culture that we are in now, you mean all you think about is dying. That's not what you think about it. I mean, but we would never, you know, we got so much knowledge now that you wouldn't be able to look past that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't, at least, but for them to, because there's still the human side to it, being afraid of dying and all that. But for them to be so stand up and cool about dying is crazy. It's crazy. That's, to me, crazy. But also, I mean, it's just a cool bunch of lads, man.
Yeah.
It's great historical period.
Well, thank you very much, Alex.
was
It
a
was great
pleasure.
talking to you.
My pleasure, my
And
pleasure.
best of luck for the rest of the show.
And thank you very much for this
Oh, yeah.
one. I have to take a look at this, guys. This is the craziest thing I've seen in terms of craftsmanship. It's so beautiful, and I'm in awe. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it a lot.